Hey guys, Bijay Dalla here, and as I share my screen with you, today I want to talk to you about targeted marketing versus mass marketing, and then I want to share with you a way that you can start targeted marketing right now to generate you more leads and more sales. Now, there's no way to better explain targeted marketing versus mass marketing than this picture right in front of me. If you look, there's about 11 people in the picture. 5 people are standing inside of a Target. Imagine them facing the person with the megaphone, and they're alert, they're paying attention to what he's saying. He is sharing his story actually with all 11 of them, though. The other 6 are completely uninterested. They've turned their back, they're walking away. Okay, now here's the typical example of what most people are doing marketing wise, period. Okay, they're just sharing their story, they're telling their story, they're trying to get it in front of as many people as possible, and they've been told that that's the secret to success. But the truth is, on the flip side of that, they're also paying for every single person that they put their story in front of. If you're involved in targeted marketing, or if you're involved in paid advertising, or if you're even involved in free lead generation, you're spending your time normally to do that. And you're sharing your story, you're sharing your opportunity, you're sharing your product or service with every single person, thinking that if I just cast a large enough net, that I'm going to break even and then make a profit. You're spending money on talking to every single person out there when you could actually be targeting your audience. And if you're targeting your audience, that's what's going to convert into sales. Because as you can see, as this story depicts, if you're just talking to everybody, you have a chance for them to turn their back on you and walk away. Now, in most cases, that could be okay if you aren't paying a single dime or a single penny to talk to those people. But a lot of times, if you're not paying to talk to those people, you're putting effort in, you're putting your time into talking to those people. So one way or another, you're investing figuratively, and you're losing your investment if you're just talking to everyone. What if there was a way, what if there was a perfect way to talk to just the people standing in that Target, standing, waiting, paying attention to what you have to say because you solve their problem, or you have a solution to what they're looking for. Okay, a great story example of targeted marketing versus mass marketing is simply this. Let's say an ice cream store opens up in the same plaza as a Walmart. A form of mass marketing, the employees would take a flyer and put it into every single person's windshield in the whole entire parking lot, as well as they have a billboard downtown as you start to enter the city directing you to the ice cream shop. Guys, what if though, what if that ice cream store could instantly send invitations and to try out their store to every person that had filled out a survey, for instance, answering that they were looking for a place to go out and get ice cream in the next 48 hours. Now I have a question for you. Which of those do you think will convert in more visitors, and which of those do you think will lead to more sales? That is the big question, guys. That is the big game changer. But here's a great example. Obviously, we know that getting targeted leads, getting targeted people to your offer is going to bring in more results because they're looking for whatever it is that you're offering them. If it's ice cream, talking to people who are looking for ice cream, you're probably going to be able to sell an ice cream cone a lot easier than anyone who just happens to walk into a Walmart. Now, that was a real world location-based example of marketing right there, guys. And the coolest part of all of this is we're not bound by that restriction. We don't have a real world location for a lot of us that requires very close range marketing methods. We have the ability to leverage the internet and social media to both service our product and to help us find an audience to share it with. And guys, let me tell you, if you think that just because we can leverage social media and just because we can use it to cast a much wider net and a larger net, that maybe targeted marketing isn't as important in this new scenario. Well, let me tell you, the truth is it's much more important. See, here's a statistic for you. Did you know that targeted lead is 8 times more likely to be interested in the information you're sharing with them and take action on it. Guys, now that you know that, now you also get to leverage the internet to find targeted leads. You can find people who are actually interested in what you're doing. And as we know, as you're looking for, you know, your new source of what's up, social media is where it's at. Today, we are more likely to find our news, we are more likely to find our what's happening, and we're more likely to share our lives and our livelihoods on social media. That means that you now have a key to success that's going to literally be able to change the game for you. You know that doing targeted marketing is what's been wrong with your game plan. You don't have a crappy product. It's not the product. You don't have a crappy mindset. It's not your mindset. You don't have a bound to average lifestyle. Guys, success is something you can reach. You just need to tweak what you're doing and target the right audience. And right now, I'm about to give you that key, guys. I'm really about to share with you my means of targeted marketing. I'm going to teach you how I generate targeted leads from Twitter marketing for free and here's the best way I can do that with you, okay? I have to tell you a story, guys. I have to share with you exactly how I stumbled upon a process that generates me targeted traffic from Twitter. And I literally use stumble because it's a hilarious story, okay? To tell you this story, I have to actually start from a different position. I have to actually start from Facebook because that's what I was doing at the time, okay? I was actually on Facebook contracted to generate likes for fan pages, okay? So I was generating leads for people's fan pages and getting them followers to make them eventually money, but to make myself money in this industry. And I was pretty good at it as long as I stayed in this industry, like I just said. But see, here's my fatal flaw, okay? As you get pretty good at it and as you start to make money, you bake your cake without following the recipe. And for me, I got slapped in the face. I got a cake that just would not rise. And here's what I mean by that. I literally, I started to put myself out there as a pretty good social media guy. And one of my homegirls owned a nail salon in Richmond, Virginia. And what she did was she asked me to generate her likes for her fan pages. Now she was popping on Twitter and she was doing her own networking offline to generate her own business, but she saw what I was doing with social media and she thought that if anybody could help her, I could help her. And because I was her homeboy, she wanted to do business with me. Now, I'm not going to take this long story. I'm going to make it short here. I took her up on the offer. I said, cool, you know, and I did everything that I normally did for marketing. Okay. And what ended up happening was I ended up with 250 likes. I was contracted to 1,000 likes. So here I was obviously with a huge problem. You know, I was barely a fourth of the way done and I couldn't generate her any more likes. I had exhausted all of my resources. So I thought of something clever. I thought of something sneaky, dastardly, but a genius. I decided she was pretty big on Twitter. She was getting a lot of followers. She was doing a lot of tweeting every single day. Maybe I should just go to her Twitter account and ask some of her followers to like her fan page, and I could get there. You know, I could just get to that 1,000 mark so I don't look stupid, right? And so literally what I ended up doing was I went to Twitter, as I'm about to share my screen and go with you right now, and you're gonna see the problem that I came up with, okay? So if you can see my screen right now, you should be on my Twitter page. I did not know her what's called a Twitter handle. This is your Twitter handle. I did not know her Twitter handle, so I thought to myself, okay, let me go to the search bar and type in, I knew her nail salon had her first name in it and the word nails. So I wanted to type in her first name and the word nails. And to give you an example of what I did, let's use the example, I love puppies, okay? So when I clicked on that, just like you're about to see here, she popped up. She was this person right here. But what blew my mind was, and what you all probably can see right now is, you get a list of the people tweeting that word or phrase. So what ended up happening was there was a list of people tweeting about getting their nails done at her salon. As you can see, a lot of these just have the contextual. There's an I love puppies itself. I love puppies. I love puppies. But in it, what's happening here is the Twitter search bar allows you to find people. And here's how cool this is. Look, guys, you can click the reply button and instantly be able to talk to people just like this. You don't have to send them a friend request. You don't have to wait for them to approve your request. You don't have to send them a direct message that they may never see. You don't have to pay a penny to send a tweet to somebody. Now, let me make this long story short for you again. Over the next 2 weeks, I followed this exact process. I don't know why my screen. Okay, good. You should be able to see me again. Cool. Over the next 2 weeks, I followed this process, and I was able to take those 250 likes to 3,500 likes, and everything started to fall into place for me, and everything started to change because a light bulb came on. I said to myself, if I could do this for nail salons, which aside from having a couple of diva girlfriends in the past, I don't know very much about nail salons and things of that nature. If I can do this for a nail salon, then think about what I can do for marketing. So I started to understand, I started to develop, but see, there was a problem here, okay? I started to hit up my normal routes of marketing. I started to pick an offer. I started to promote the offer via Twitter, but a couple of things really hung me up. And I'm going to share a couple of them with you right now in this story, okay? So instead of I love puppies, there was a bigger problem. There was two original problems, okay? If you type in, I want to make money online, you're going to find that it's all about push, okay? You don't find anyone saying, hey, I want to make money online. You find everybody talking about, hey, how do I do that? Hey, here's how you can do it. Hey, buy my product, buy my product, buy my product. You see, and I'm actually just going to flip back and forth between my face and Twitter. But you see, Twitter, when I started to figure out this tweet driver method, as I now call my strategy, and I'm about to explain the rest of it to you right now, Twitter originally was being taught about push, about take your product and shove it out there and just tweet. Followers are going to find you. They're going to see your tweets. They're going to buy your product. No. I literally stumbled upon this, and here's why I call it stumbling upon this. Because I started to teach and implement pull in an environment that was dominated and still kind of is dominated by push for people who aren't making any success in this industry, who aren't making any success on that social media platform, I should say. Here's what amazes me, and here's what's crazy, okay? I actually leveraged my relationships in this industry. I went to 3 of the biggest names in our industry because at that point they had just released Twitter products, or one was a social media product but had a Twitter expert in it. So I talked to the Twitter expert on one and talked to my other 2 buddies. And here's what I found out. 2 of them didn't even reply. Wouldn't even give me the time of day. One of them hit me back and he said, oh yeah, that's a great marketing method. I see that you're doing things. Awesome, bro. Glad that you're going to promote my product, right? And when I went back to him and I said, oh, that's awesome. Hey, can you explain it to me? I'm having a problem, right? He couldn't answer me this problem. And it was conversion rate wise, because I actually advanced past the problem that I had just shown you about the whole entire industry being pushed based off of my own efforts. I put in hours and hours and hours. But here's what he ended up saying to me back once I finally pushed and probed him a little bit. He told me, hey man, to be honest, like, I'm glad you're promoting the launch, but I didn't really realize and look into what you were showing me. I don't do Twitter that way. It looks like it could be an awesome technique. Let me know how it works for you. So I was back at square one. I knew I had a gold mine. I knew I had something that really could work and could generate targeted leads, but no one in the industry really knew how to use it, knew how to leverage it, knew exactly how to teach me the top way. So what I ended up doing was I dedicated 12 hours a day for the next 6 months in my business to figuring out Twitter stuff. Okay, figuring out how to generate targeted leads from Twitter, to figuring out how to get Twitter followers fast, figuring out how to put my offer in front of the targeted list of leads that I could see are being tweeted about talking about needing what my product or service solves the problem of. But I had to put in the time and the effort. And really what ended up happening was everything changed for me. You see, I learned a couple of things. Number one, I learned how to start generating 15 free leads an hour from using this targeted marketing method. It's actually very, very powerful, and it's very amazing now, because what you can do is, instead of taking this, I'm just going to give you a quick little overview. Instead of taking this wrong method, you can do things like, I need more money, or people who are saying, I want more money, need more money. You can talk to them. And this is what I started to go through. I'm just going to give you maybe a 5-minute what I had to struggle through and figure out how to make it and kind of condense it a little bit for you guys, right? So I need more money became a keyword that I started to mess with. And here's the coolest thing, guys, is there's a lot of struggles that someone has to blaze the trail through, okay? I found a niche, I found a marketing strategy, and I found a way to do targeted marketing that no one else had blazed the trail through and who had led the trail and mixed for. So I got to blaze this trail that you're seeing in front of you. And when I teach it, I like to teach it correctly, right? So I was ending up putting in time and effort trying to figure out how to do things like that, because honestly, the make money online niche is the one that I had the hardest problem with. Because if you're, let's say you're selling a weight loss niche, a weight loss supplement, look at how targeted of a lead generation this could be for you, right? You can type in something like, I want to slim down. I want to slim down, right here. And all of a sudden, you're going to get a list of people tweeting the word or phrase, I want to slim down. There's nothing easier to sell a weight loss supplement shake or something of that nature to a list of people who are tweeting about, I want to slim down, right? There's all sorts of examples like this. And as you can see, it keeps going and going and going. It's getting newer up here. So literally, guys, this method turns around and became one part of what I was doing, because Twitter became a passion of mine. Okay, I'm going to share my my face with you again, because I get pretty passionate in this part. Twitter became a passion of mine. Okay, I started to devote my time and effort to really learning how to market on Twitter and really making a difference on Twitter. And what I learned was Twitter could be used ultimately to generate targeted leads whenever I wanted to, at the snap of a finger. Copy and paste formula using my tweet driver method to find anything that you could potentially need to sell a product or service for, right? But Twitter was so much more than that. As I started to figure things out, I started to figure out things how to get 20,000 followers in 6 weeks, things how to get hundreds of followers a day, even 4,000 followers a day, things like how to literally take a video and use it to get 1,000 targeted views and to get a 30% sales rate off of that. Guys, literally crazy, crazy things. But here's the coolest thing is I was able to create a course. Okay, I was able to take my knowledge and sit down with a group of people, like the group of people who are watching this webinar right now, and I was able to sell them. I was able to sell them a seat to the course and then teach them a Twitter session, because what I did was I spent hours and hours and hours of time that was a huge learning curve for other people that they get to leverage off of. Okay, and I was able to condense that all in and actually teach them my Twitter methods that I created a course out of calling my Twitter Intensive. And what's really awesome is my Twitter Intensive is being featured on ClickBank right now for $197. my Twitter intensive is originally a 3-module course. It's currently a 5-module course. And I say currently because it ever is evolving. As I learn anything new in Twitter, as I develop new Twitter strategies, I keep updating my Twitter intensive users. I keep giving them more and more modules, and I keep uploading them. Here's originally what I had. In part 1 of the Twitter intensive, I'll explain why everything you've ever been told about Twitter is flat out wrong. And I'll teach you the real way to use Twitter, which is basically the opposite of what everyone else is doing. And that's the difference between push and pull. And I really started to give you a little bit of a secret heads up before in this kind of training, teaching you the difference. But basically, I show you both sides of the same coin. I explain the 2 different ways I use Twitter to generate my leads, build me a warm market, and generate me sales, new team members, and followers daily. In module 2, I get pretty passionate, guys. I go in depth between my tweet driver method. I break down the difference in the science between constructing a tweet driver tweet. I give you the subconscious call to action that is the key to getting conversions, and I break down the formula to giving you what I call a free account. My tweet driver is my secret, my go-to, my coined phrase, but it's also really what started me in this industry and what propelled me to getting successful. So when I talk about that, I actually dedicate an entire module to it because it's that important. A lot of my, if you see in the bottom, a lot of my students love my tweet driver, and they end up doing crazy things like getting 100% click-through rate and getting a 30% opt-in rate on the traffic that he's sending to his capture page from using my tweet driver method. One of my students was able to generate 3 sales from 25 tweets using my tweet driver method. That is crazy high. That's more than a 10% sales rate from tweet, not from opt-in. So literally, guys, those are huge astronomical numbers, and that's just one module of it. In module 3, I teach you how to use your culture account. And literally what I do is, for all you networkers out there that are looking to leverage social media to find targeted relationships, I teach you how to get organic followers, to find you, and how to get 20,000 followers in 6 weeks or less. Look, I do got to give you a warning though. One of my students actually followed this method to the T, and he actually generated 4,000 followers in a single day, as well as the biggest, look, that has been one of my biggest successes, is teaching people how to generate leads, and that actually generate followers. And that actually comes from a funny story, which is one of my students was learning just my tweet driver method at the time, and she asked me, she said, BJ, how could I possibly learn anything from you on Twitter? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, your account only has 4,700 followers. My account has 20,000 followers. So what could you teach me about Twitter? And I asked her, well, what are you doing? Like, how many eyes are you getting to see your offer? How many people are actually checking out what you're doing? Is it generating you any leads or sales? And she goes, and I said, look, I developed this strategy that I'm sharing with you in module 3, and I did a case study. I told her, I said, look, I'm going to take the next month of my life, and I'm going to get to 20,000 just to show you how simple it was. But yeah, they're going to be targeted marketing, and it's going to be relationships that will end up turning up for me and selling my product for me, because probably the biggest viral marketing secret out of all of this comes in module 3. I teach you how to get a literal million eyes to see your offer every single time you send out a tweet. And that's all for free. They actually do the marketing for you from this subconscious little trick by putting a single hashtag into your tweet. And I'm going to share with you exactly how to do that and what that hashtag is. as I do that. Module 4, guys, I teach you how to leverage Twitter to generate leads for CPA marketing and how to make a literal $1,200 a day using CPA marketing with targeted traffic from Twitter. And obviously on Module 5, I go into how to generate and build you a target audience for free and how to generate you a warm market for free from Twitter and how to end up recreating your warm market every single day by showing you how to find new people to talk to every single day from Twitter, so that your warm market, which if you know anything about your warm market, it's an 80-20 rule. 80% of the sales you make in your business and 80% of the team members in your organization come from a warm market sale. So teaching you how to build a warm market is vital. Teaching you how to build a warm market for free is super vital, but teaching you how to continuously create that warm market so that you don't run out of warm market leads to sell to is the key to success for Module 5. Guys, this is literally something that's crazy. I'm so happy and I'm so amazed to be able to offer you this lookout, because on top of getting those 5 modules, when you click the link below and buy for $197, you're going to experience what those other people experience. You see, I talked about that group of people, right? The group of people who literally got to come out to a webinar just like you just came out to right now, and who got to come out with me live, who got to ask me questions while I was teaching, who got to be able to help me in the long run because they got to ask their questions specifically on what I was teaching while I was teaching it. So they got the best of me, and they got me to be able to open up and elaborate on questions that a lot of the group was having. Now, here's what's awesome, right? I think we can all agree that of those 5 modules, you're going to take major nuggets, and you're going to take major value from it. But what would have really changed the game is anyone who got to come out live with me. That is a next level experience, right? You feel like if you came out live with me and you got to ask me questions while I taught you something, that you would completely grasp the concept of what I was teaching. Well, I get to actually offer that to you right now. You see, because I'm doing a module 6, okay? I actually have one more Twitter module that I have left in the tank. I'm not going to say it's the last Twitter module ever, but I'm going to say there's one more Twitter module out there that I've been putting together my stats for, that I've been putting together my story for, that I haven't released out there yet, but I'm doing that live Friday, August 14th. And the recorded 6th module is going to be something that's a game changer. It's something that literally I will be giving everyone who owns the course, no matter when you buy it, even if you buy it before the 14th, or if you are seeing this and it's after the 14th and you go ahead and purchase this then. But for all of you watching this now, I'm actually punching your free ticket to come out there live with me while I teach a strategy that opens up a completely new avenue for you to interact with your warm market and stay in front of your target audience like never before. And guys, I gotta give you a little bit of a teaser. What I'm revealing averages a 95% read and open rate. Guys, a 95% open and read rate on everything that you send out, on everything that you're targeting. This strategy is definitely going to change the way that you think about marketing. Okay, on top of all the other 5 modules in the Twitter Intensive. But it's definitely something that you want to be out there for live and get any and all of your questions answered by me from. So I need you to take advantage of the special bonus and purchase your Twitter Intensive right now by clicking on the link below. It's $197, and you'll get access to those 5 modules, as well as if you're watching this and you purchase before August 14th, you're going to get your ticket stamped to the one-on-one session, the live session where I'm teaching module 6, and I'm giving away that strategy that's going to give you a 95%, that's averaging a 95% open and read rate. So guys, I'm excited. Thank you for watching this presentation. Go ahead and click the link below now. Grab your Twitter Intensive. I'll see you on the webinar. I'll see you on the Twitter Intensive modules, and I'll see you at the bank. Take care.